NEXT Global Solutions delivers next-generation document digitization and workflow automation to increase an organization's agility and scalability for business operations. Our NEXT Smart Digital Transformation Framework is architected with state-of-the-art technology to achieve critical transformative robotics process automation, business resiliency, and true transformation. Enabled AI, not replacement AI. Now that's our business pitch. And yes, we do turn ever-expanding data into real-time business and do transform the world one step at a time. But it's not through just our business solutions. NEXT is focused on providing a social good aspect to our business. My name is Lisa Canty. I am one of the co-founders and president of NEXT Global Solutions. I will tell you a bit of a personal story. And my personal story starts with the passing of my mother, who had stomach cancer. One of the issues that I had found was that myself as a caregiver and her as a patient, she was not able to get access to data that would allow her to feel better. She wasn't able to find someone that she would be able to interact with that understood how she felt. She wasn't able to find the right treatments at times because of all of the data and the lack of transparency and the lack of credibility in the data on the internet. That's when I set on my goal and my plan and my path to be able to, yes, build better technology, use artificial intelligence and the convergence of blockchain to be able to build a better business model. But really, this is driven from inside, where we can actually transform human lives by allowing us to have credibility, security, auditability, traceability in our data. And at the same time, maybe have a little fun and a little bit of compassion working with those that really need access to our data. Let me share with you a few things. At this point, I think it's important for me to introduce our Smart Digital Transformation Framework. It's important to let you know how we came to this point with realizing that social good should be the foundation of our technology. Yes, we're in the business of creating technology that creates business resiliency and transforms any business digitally. Our suite of micro products use NEXT Capture, workflow automation, NEXT Insights, and nested blocks. This is AI converging with blockchain, with various processes that help through the journey of a digital transformation roadmap, helping companies through operational master data management, analytical master data management. What's important for NEXT is to be able to show you how we took NEXT Insights to a different level. NEXT Insights is meant to be a microservice that uses visualization, connecting things like Tableau and our own visualization board through a portal to create predictive and prescriptive analytics through integrated workflows. Yes, we have dynamic dashboards, but the true talent are in the people that we have that have created all of these algorithms for all of the objectives that we've had in our business. We work with the banking industry. We work with the title industry. We work with all businesses. However, we decided to use our algorithms for good. We decided to also integrate special teams to scale our data science team so we can hire from NJIT and build our data science team from the ground up using real talent. This social good platform of ours is really important to me. As mentioned, my mom drove me to create this nonprofit, Eve's Appetite for Cure, that is now NEXST Global Solutions social good focus.
Hello and welcome to our IT 491 capstone final presentation for Eve's Appetite for Cure, the Need to Speak platform. We are the front-end developers. Today we'll be presenting the project that we have taken on. Myself, Sophia, will be covering the problem identification and analysis portion. Miguel will be speaking about the implementation of our solution, and Garima, Sagan, and Shalja will be showcasing our final project. Let's get into it. There is currently no application that can act as a safe space where two people who are experiencing the same type of cancer can experience relief in each other. Those who take care of their loved ones and want to reach out and speak to those sharing the same difficulties. People who have gone through the treatments, beaten cancer, and can offer their words of comfort to people who need to hear it the most. Medical professionals who have dedicated their lives to study cancer and the toll it takes on a human body know just how important information and ease is to these people. Our team has created this shared platform. I will now hand it over to Miguel, and he will be starting our team solution with the implementation.
Miguel speaking. Using React Native, PHP, and SQL, the mobile application can be accessed through Android and iOS devices. Users are matched up on the application with those who are facing similar cancer types, or medical professionals who specialize in their cancer type. This logic is done with the use of the API that was created on the backend team and was then implemented on the front end. The team worked on the application using GitHub for local coding, and at the end of the process, we will upload the code onto the live server using AWS under the domain www.needtospeak.com. I will now hand it over to Garima to start with the demonstration.
Hello everyone, this is Garima speaking. The home page is the gateway into the application where the user can create their account based on the category that they fall under. I'll be walking through the application as a medical professional who has heard about the benefits of the application and wants to offer my help to those seeking it. This is my first time on the app, so I'll go through a sequential sign up. Now, because I'm a medical professional, so apart from entering details like name, medical type, birth year, city, and state, I'm also being asked for an NPI number, tax ID number, a list of certifications, and whether or not I'm board certified. After entering email and password, when I finish signing up, I'll still not be allowed within the application. This is because I need to be verified. I'll switch perspectives here. It is important to note that this is just for the purpose of this semester. A third-party verification will be used in the future development of this application. An email verification is sent to our admin email. The admin will review the credentials and verify the medical professional. I'll go back into the application as a medical professional. Now that I have been verified, I can sign in using my email and password. I'm brought to the main page. This is where most everything is happening. At the top section of the page, a user can create a post that will be publicly displayed on the timeline below. As a medical professional, I'm more interested in helping someone who needs it. So I'll be searching through the public forum for a post that stands out to me. This is the screenshot of querying a backend API with the search item stomach cancer. It returns the list of post IDs 5 and 63. From the database screenshot below, you can see the respective posts related to the search keyword. Coming back to the application, here is a post by a fighter, Theresa. It is related to stomach cancer, which is my specialty. As you can see, there is already a comment from another user, Yugen, and a reply to that comment from Theresa. I'll use the comment section to reach out to Theresa. So after typing in my comment, now assuming a time skip where Theresa has seen my comment on her post and sent a friend request to me. Here on the bell icon, there is a notification. This is the invite or friend request from Theresa. I will accept the request and she's added to my connections. Now we can speak to each other whenever we need to. The one-on-one speaking to a medical professional can help ease their anxiety. As a medical professional, I'd be content to offer comfort to the fighter who is going through a very scary experience in life. I'll now hand it over to Sagan for another use case of the application.
This is Sagan, and for this use case demonstration, I'm a caregiver whose father has a stage 2 stomach cancer. My father will be going through the surgery within the next months, and I want to find someone who has a similar experience. First, I'm in the profile page. I have been a member for a few days. Now I have to change my image to make it more personal. I will pick this image and save the profile. As you can see, the image is changed, and now I can go to the connections and see who is there. As you can see, now I have two friends who are fighters. Going back to the main page, I need to find connections with the same caregiver as me through the selection. The logic handled in the back end is connecting me with the similar caregivers, the similar experience. Here I will send a message to George. George has been accepted me, and we can talk. The ability of two people who've been seeing loved ones through these treatments or about to see them through the treatments to connect gives them a way to talk about personal experience and more in a more emotional level. They can break out of their personal bubble with familiar faces and insights and get another perspective with different advice. Or they can already been through this similar experience, and they can give the assuring words and that can help their fellow friends at ease. Now Shalja is gonna talk about the third user.
Hi everyone, Shalja speaking. For this use case demonstration, I'm pretty new in the application as a cancer fighter. I have stage 3 stomach cancer and my first surgery is coming up, so I'm feeling pretty anxious about it. I want to change to either another fighter or medical professional that reaches out to me. I'm first in the homepage where I have one new notification. The friend request is from caregiver Thomas. I do not want to be friends with this person and I don't want them to see again in my notification. So I'm going to block Thomas. Now I want to make forum posts that can be displayed about my surgery, and I want to talk to someone who can give advice. Here I will click I want to talk and make the post. We will pretend that there is a time skip here, and Eugen has left a comment on my post. I can see a second comment from a medical professional who specializes in stomach cancer. I'm already friends with Eugen as we have matched up few days ago. Now Eugen has reached out to me, so I want to speak to him privately about my anxiety. So I will go to my profile page and find him under my connection. For the purpose of the video, the conversation has already happened between two of us. We can talk to each other about various copying techniques and recovery options as well as things I expect post-surgery from someone who has already gone through it. The enormous weight this has on their mind and the relief mentally that is offered by allowing them to talk to someone in the common place like this platform to give them the opportunity to find comfort in speaking to each other. I need to speak is heard loud and clear in a new way that brings mental well-being in front of the physical. Now I also have a comment on my forum post. Now I also have a comment on my forum post from medical professional. The idea of talking about medical professional one-on-one is very exciting so that I can get some better insight from medical perspective. I send a friend request to Mary and we can speak to each other.
Hi everyone and welcome to our final capstone presentation for Eve's Appetite for a Cure Pen Pals platform for the data analysis team. I'm Kavyashree Seelam.
I'm Smith Purohit.
I'm Manasri Srinivas.
Hi, I'm Anmol Jaswal.
So for our project overview, the main problem is the need for a unifying platform where all people affected by cancer can share their experiences and form meaningful connections. Right now, there are many cancer support forums, but there's none that provide a social network style experience. So the solution to this problem was to create a platform where all these different user types can connect and share their experiences. And as a data analysis team, our role in this project was to provide real-time sentiment analysis and various other data insights that provide a meaningful and unique experience for each user. So our solution consisted of 3 different parts. First one being sentiment analysis, where we do real-time analysis on the forum post to determine a sentiment for each user. And this sentiment is then used throughout the application to inform various decisions. And next we have the profile matching, where we use the sentiment that was previously generated and other attributes to give recommendations for connections to each user. And we also have the search functionality, which allows for the user to find relevant posts within the application. And now moving on to sentiment analysis.
The first task for sentiment analysis we did was web scraping and labeling. We web scraped 3 different cancer support forums and we divided our data into 4 sets of 150 posts each, and each one of our group member manually labeled each post using a scale of 0 to 2 respectively for negative, neutral, and positive. So we utilized two approaches for sentiment analysis. First one was using pre-trained classifiers, and second one was using machine learning models by training them from scratch. And these are the accuracies that we got for our pre-trained classifiers. Unluckily, the accuracies for pre-trained classifier for our project data set were not so good. And so for our machine learning model, these are the features that we had extracted and used. These features are based on a research paper that we had studied for our sentiment analysis part. And these are the accuracies that we got for our iteration 1 of sentiment analysis. The highest accuracy was for our random forest model. That was of 65. And so in the second iteration, our goal was to refine and increase our accuracy. And for that, we had discussion with our stakeholders. And after the discussion, we decided to label our post only as positive and negative. So we relabeled our posts and trained our model on this newly labeled data set. In this second iteration, we also implemented a sentiment classifier using a state-of-art NLP model called BERT. And to evaluate its performance, we tested it on Twitter data set, and it gave an amazing accuracy of 86%. But unluckily for our own project data set, the accuracy was not so good. And the winner for our project's data set was support vector machine in the second iteration. And with the support vector machine, we got an accuracy of 75%. So now I'm going to give you a demo of our sentiment analysis API. And for the demo, I have selected 2 user posts. The first post, as you can see, is a positive one, and the second post, as you can see, is a negative one. Now let's move on to the demo. So this is our API here for our sentiment analysis model, which has been deployed on AWS. And this here is the argument that I'm passing to our API. And as you can see, the argument here is a positive one. And when I pass it to the API, it gives the output 1. That means it successfully classifies it as a positive sentiment. And when I pass this user post as an argument to our API, as you can see, the post here is negative, and it successfully outputs 0, which signifies negative sentiment. And that's all for the demo of sentiment analysis. And now I will pass over to Manasvi to explain the profile matching part.
It is the method of using attributes to create best possible recommendations between different types of users, and they are fighter, caregiver, mentor, and doctor. Moving on to the profile matching execution, it has 2 filters. First filter is acquiring users' location based on the zip code, and the second filter is a breakdown of the sentiment conditions based on the user type and the sentiment number. So as you can see, this is actually a subset of our actual database. And in this, the user ID number 282 has the user type ID given as 1, which is referring to a patient or a fighter, has a zip code of 7029. As you can also infer the fact that IDs number 283 and 300 have also this similar zip code. So when you do the first filter, these both would actually be under the recommendations. But when you actually apply the second filter based on the sentiment, it shows that only number 300 ID can be given as a recommendation, because number 283 has a sentiment of 0, and a negative sentiment cannot be ever paired with another negative sentiment. So I would like to show you the demo of the API. As you can see, this is the profile matching API demo. The API, and that 282 is the ID number, trying to show out the best recommendations possible for it. After we execute, we see that there are a number of users, and you can clearly, infer the fact that ID number 283 will not be available there, because it was being eradicated based on the second filter, and number 300 stands on top of the list because it is in both filter 1 and filter 2 while doing the profile matching. So now giving this over to Anmol for search algorithm. Thank you.
For the search algorithm portion of this project, the search API uses TF-IDF algorithm to filter out relevant posts depending on the keywords used in the search query. The scenario for this demo is that a medical professional is trying to find posts regarding stomach cancer to help fighters. So he uses the search bar to type in stomach cancer, and in turn, all forum posts relevant to stomach cancer are outputted. We've included a subset of our user posts, and as you can see, the only posts related to stomach cancer are ID numbers 5 and 63. And now Smith will show you the demo function of our API to filter out these posts. This is our search API. That is our search query. And as you can see, that it successfully outputs posts 5 and 63, which were the ones related to stomach cancer. And now I will hand it over to Kavya to explain topic modeling.
So our approach for topic modeling was to use an LDA model from the Jensen library, which is available through Python. And we ran this model on our web scrape data. And through this, we were able to successfully identify topics within our data set. And as you can see here, these are some examples of the topics that were identified by the model. One of them is eating related problems, which you can see at index 0. It identified words such as eat, food, and weight. And also another example is post related to chemo treatment at index 4. You can see words like chemo, treatment, and effect. So to conclude, through this project, we were able to complete 3 different tasks, which was the sentiment analysis, profile matching, and the search capability. And all 3 of these things provide value to our front-end application. And these are just some of the sources that we used throughout the semester. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
These are our image citations, and thank you for listening.